Tinnitus is not for life. Do not listen to what your ENT might have told you, saying that you just have to habituate and get used to it. There is no getting used to this ringing in your ears. Trust me, I know the pain. So I'm about to show you a full day in the life of what I'm doing to heal from tinnitus. And trust me, this stuff is working. I've already healed from tinnitus once in the past. So I got my tinnitus about 5 years ago. And after 2 years of searching and just trying to research as much as I can, how do I fix this thing? You know, how do I get salvation? I eventually managed to find all these weird tactics you're about to see in this video. And I got my tinnitus from about a 7 down to a 3. And then I was like, okay, I'm fine with this. And for the next 2 years, you know, I lived with my tinnitus at a very low level. It wasn't impacting my life anymore. But about 2 weeks ago, I got a big spike, a big one, and it just terrified me. So now I've completely dedicated to take it even more seriously than I did before and eradicate my tinnitus. And if you want to follow my journey, you know, subscribe to the channel, whatever, I'm not too worried. But the one thing I want to say about this video is, trust me, this information is so important. So I know this is a long video, so please just, I'm gonna put timestamps and just follow them as you see fit. Save this video to your watch later list. Put the video on ×2 speed, you know, that shortens it from a 50-minute video to just 25 minutes. So do whatever you can, come back to this video, anything like that. But trust me, all this stuff is so useful for tinnitus. And I'm gonna leave a bunch of handy links below. So go down there as soon as the video is finished and check them out as well. Tinnitus is not for life, I'm telling you. Keep the faith. Enjoy the video. So, I've just gotten up. I'm going to keep my voice quite low because it's very early. I don't want to wake the people I live with. So yeah, I've just woken up and this is a full day of living with tinnitus. So the first thing I want to show you is your toothpaste. Basically you want to be using fluoride-free Intolerances, like this one, but it's not essential. Then the next thing, when you go for your morning shower, you want to have one of these, which is a shower water filter. That just makes sure you're not like taking in harmful things from your shower water that affect tinnitus as well. And then instead of body wash, I use this, which is 100% olive oil. I'm not sure if you can see that, but instead of it being a bunch of chemicals, you know, I could eat that. I could literally eat it like it was cheese. So that's the kind of things you want to be used on your skin. So yeah, just a little start. So now is my morning session of yoga. This isn't essential, but I find it's just a great way to wake up, and a lot of times when you're doing the forward fold movement, which I'll show you later on, it's basically when you just dive right forward and you let your head hang. Sometimes I get a really nice relief in my head just with all the blood that comes up to your head when you go upside down, and I find it's very healing for tinnitus, so something for you to try, but I'll show you my session and how it goes. Now, I am watching a TV yoga session with Yoga with Adrian. This is not ideal in the morning because basically blue light mimics the morning light, and as you can see, well, you probably can't, but the sun hasn't risen yet, so I'm basically telling my body that the sun's already risen by turning on all these lights and doing a yoga session on the television. But you have to be practical with this stuff. It's impossible to do it all 100% correctly 100% all of the time. So this is the way that I've got it into my routine, and I think the benefits of yoga outweigh setting my circadian rhythm a bit too early, and normally the place isn't lit up so much like a Christmas tree, but I'm trying to get some good lighting so we can get a good video. So yeah, I'll just carry on with the yoga.
And then round through the spine, breathe out, draw the chin to the chest. Just catch a little weight in the palms here. Slowly start to roll up with bent knees, stacking the spine one vertebra at a time. You're gonna roll up to standing, mountain pose. Loop the shoulders forward, up and back. Stand up nice and tall. Take a deep breath in as you lengthen through the crown of the head. Then you're just gonna go right back down, starting with the chin to the chest. Slow roll down of the spine and see if you can really articulate through the vertebra here. And then eventually we'll release, come all the way back down to your forward fold. Exhale, relax the shoulders. Breathe here. Whoa, find your core. Inhale in again. Exhale, you're going to sit toes. Exhale, drop the heels slowly and with control, almost like you're reaching rather than just dropping and letting gravity do the work. Again, inhale, lift up, nice and tall, breathe in. Breathe out. Little movement left to right. Find what feels good, pace-wise, rhythm-wise. Namaste.
Namaste. So I hope you enjoyed me flopping around trying to do yoga. I'm by no means an expert, I'm just following Yoga with Adrian's videos. But yeah, when I did the forward fold there, I really felt a nice release in the neck, just let everything go, a lot of blood rush to the ears, and you can tell, you just feel it, that there's a lot of cleaning going on. Not like it's specific, but you can tell that there's a lot of blood flow in your ear, and this is what we're looking for with tinnitus, is to heal, and the body does this in its own ways. You know, we can't understand it fully. So yeah, just a thought. Definitely try out some yoga if you're struggling with tinnitus. Helps release the neck and the shoulders, the back, the spine, some decompression, you know, because from sitting all day and walking about, we never decompress our spine like we're supposed to. So you can do hanging for this as well, like just hanging from a bar, and then you let your spine decompress. But also yoga works terrifically. So now I'm going to move on to my morning meditation practice. It's about 10 minutes long. I'll do a little time lapse, and just so you can see it. I think it'll be quite interesting. It was a nice little meditation session. It wasn't my best, I'll be honest. It's a bit strange meditating when you have a beady eye watching over you. I just want to talk through what meditation is for me and how it's been benefiting my life and how to do it, essentially. So all I do is simply focus on the breath, and then you watch it come in, and then you watch it go out, and that's it. But I think there's some crucial points. For instance, when you get to the bottom of a breath, you kind of stop, and then there's a little pause, and then it comes back in. And I think these moments of pause between inhale and exhale, and vice versa, are so important when you're meditating, because these are the points where your mind normally comes back in, and it's what you want to avoid. For instance, this session I was thinking about what to say to the camera. These thoughts were coming into my mind, but then it's like, without judgment and without kind of attaching any emotion or, you know, oh, why am I thinking this thought? I should be meditating. You know, it's a natural part. And the way I like to think of it is like, it's like doing one rep in the gym. Every time you come back to your breath, you've just become a bit more mindful and a bit more present. So that's the way you have to look at it, and you know, meditation's been benefiting my life humongously. I just noticed there that it was only at the very end that I even noticed I had tinnitus, because I was so focused on the breath and being present. So it was either my thoughts or my breath, I didn't even notice the tinnitus, you know? And I'm sure for a lot of you that sounds like, wait, what? You know what I mean? You're just sitting there, surely you hear the tinnitus. It's like, nah. In my perception, honestly, like, it was like I didn't have it. So this is what meditation's about. It's becoming so present, so aware of your own body and stuff like that, that all these negative things just seem to slip away sometimes. Obviously it came back. I'm not saying it disappeared, it's just that my attention was elsewhere. And I think this is why meditation is so beneficial for people suffering with tinnitus. So if you're not doing it already, honestly, please just start 10 minutes every morning. Do a guided meditation to start, and then later on you can just start going on your own. I find that just meditating alone without a guide is better, but it's good to have both interspersed. So when you don't feel like turning up, then you do a guided one, because it's like, oh, I don't want to meditate just by myself, but if I have a guided one, then okay, you know, just focus on damage control. The main thing's getting the reps in. So yeah, pretty cool. Also, another very small point that I'd like to mention is that I try and wear only 100% natural fiber material clothes. This is because if you wear polyester, it leaches microplastics into your skin. So it's a tough one, but I've had to do the same thing and just throw out a lot of old clothes, because you'd be so surprised how much of it is basically just a plastic bag. And this stuff is really not good for tinnitus. So I just encourage you to, you know, take the leap and start wearing more cotton and wool, silk, these kind of materials that actually come from planet Earth. It's not just a plastic bag made from crude oil that it's terrible. So yeah, just thought I'd mention that as well. So I just want to add another point, which is the water that you're drinking on a day-to-day basis. And I know you might be thinking like, wait, what? I just drink water from the tap, right? But no, trust me, you do not want to be drinking that on a day-to-day basis. If you actually look up what's in tap water and what it isn't able to filter out, stuff like heavy metals, fluoride, chlorine, you know, and the list goes on and on and on. Microplastics are in water, tap water, and a bunch of other things. So basically, I'll show you this. And Andrew Huberman, the scientist online, he recommends that you drink 1 litre of water before it's been 1 hour that you've been awake. So I've already downed one of these, but I'll just show you what I've got. So I've got this metal container here, and this is what I drink out of on a day-to-day basis. Again, with the point of avoiding microplastics, you don't want to be drinking from a plastic bottle because it will leach plastics into your... I know it's so annoying, but this is the things you need to do to get rid of your tinnitus. If you're truly dedicated to getting rid of it, you need to do these kind of weird things, okay? So yeah, I'll just show. We've also got this tap, right? And it's basically, this is our water tap, and this is like just regular tap water. So that's just for cleaning and other things, right? But the water we drink comes from this one only, and it's basically from this machine. And you'll see it's a bit high tech. So this is basically called a reverse osmosis machine, and this filters your drinking water, and our one also re-adds in minerals, so that it's much healthier to drink. And think about how often you drink water, right? You might as well make it as healthy as possible, because it will contribute to your health massively, okay? And I've noticed my face looks better, like I get less spots and stuff like that. I'm just generally healthier since I switched to this. I know not everyone has the funds available to be able to buy one of these machines and get it installed and everything, right? So I would say just drink bottled water, like spring water, like Highland Park or Evian, until you can afford one of these. And if you can get your water from a glass bottle, that would be perfect. That's actually probably better than reverse osmosis because it's from a natural spring, but it's also contained in a glass bottle, so it's healthy to drink out of. So that's the top tier. But when I was in Manchester and I healed my tinnitus the first time, I got it from about a 7 down to about a 2 or 3, and I was drinking bottled water on a daily basis. So I'd just go and get litres and litres. I used to go along with a I must look like such a weirdo looking back on that. I'd go along with like a suitcase that you'd take for going on holiday, like a travel bag, and then I would basically like rock up to Tesco or anything, and then I'd just fill up this suitcase with a bunch of bottled water, take it to the checkout, and then I'm like fussing around with my bag and that while I'm oh man, so it was like a shopping trip to the supermarket just to get a shitload of bottled water, and I must have looked like a complete freak. But these are the things you have to do. You don't, just throw away your ego, This is some of the benefits of living with tinnitus, is you have to do these strange things, and it really teaches you that life's not all that, you can make a fool of yourself, and it's on the other people. You're just healing your tinnitus. You're doing nothing wrong. It's them who are doing something wrong if they judge you. So just thought I'd share that little story. So now the sun has just about risen, so I'm going to go out for my morning walk. You want to do this within about 20 minutes of the sun rising. That would be ideal, but don't worry about it. If the sun's already risen and it's still basically a low solar angle, so it's not too high in the sky, it's not like, whoa, it's like right above you. As long as it's still coming down at an angle like that, you can set your circadian rhythm pretty well. So obviously in the winter, you can see that the skies aren't the best, let's say, but I'm making the most of it. So I'm going to have to go out for a bit longer. When the sun isn't out and you can't see it directly, it takes about 30 minutes if it's quite overcast to set your circadian rhythm. Whereas if the sun is in your eyes and it's directly hitting your eyes, then you can set your circadian rhythm a lot faster in about 5 to 10 minutes. So I'm going to go out for a wee half an hour walk and just show you my surroundings as I go, I guess. So this is Josh from the future. This is a perfect example of what setting your circadian rhythm should look like. Unfortunately, it was super cloudy yesterday, the day the video was recorded, but this is what we're looking for. And obviously not every day is perfect, but this is ideal. So back to the video. Yeah, so this is just me setting circadian rhythm. It's a pretty miserable day, I'm not gonna lie. It's extremely windy and you can't see, it's just completely grey. But it is what it is, you just gotta make the most of it. I'm still just looking around and I'm super grateful for where I live, because even though it's Scotland and it's absolutely freezing, there's just something about it, you know what I mean? It's a bit magical. I live in Dundee, so you see here, you can kind of see over to there. There's like this massive bridge in between as well, but it's a really beautiful place. And I think to do healing from tinnitus, you really want to avoid cities. So you want to be in surroundings like this, surrounded by trees and just nature in general. So obviously you can't really affect where you live. It simply is where you live, but the more sun that you can get and the more nature you can be surrounded by, and the less it is like city-like, that's probably ideal. Also, just another pro tip, oh god, very windy. Just another little pro tip is, if you take your hood down and you get some cold air on your ears, it stimulates blood flow to your ears, so it's similar like what I was doing with the yoga. Or if you take a cold shower, that's really good. For instance, this morning I had a warm shower because it's freezing outside, just give me a break. But on a perfect day of living with tinnitus, you would have a cold shower. Cold exposure is incredible for you. There's a lot of research online about this, especially right now. People seem to be getting clued up on it, but yeah, cold exposure, cold baths, cold shower, or just taking your hood down on a cold day. Get some cold air to your ears and you'll see that they start to go red. That's just like loads of blood in your ear, which is exactly what we're looking for. Just want to show you the difference and what I've been doing recently to cut down on coffee. So I used to have a double espresso and I'd have 2 or 3 of these a day, so 6 espressos in total, and now I've switched to this smaller cup, and now my absolute limit is 2 single espressos and before 10 a.m. So when you're doing these kind of things and you're trying to cut back on especially a drug like caffeine, which is not ideal for tinnitus, it really stimulates things you don't want to be doing and it'll spike your tinnitus. It's not good for it. Any kind of stimulant isn't good for tinnitus. So what you want to do is you want to cut back super slow, like as slow as you can. So tomorrow, literally tomorrow, I'm cutting back to 1 espresso a day, and I'll have that at 10 a.m. and then that's me. So it's just a single espresso, and that's from 6 down to 1. But this has taken me a couple months to do, and I'd recommend you do the same. For anything that you know is a bad habit, just cut it down slowly, progressively deload it, and you may find that you get where you want to get to a lot quicker than you think you might. So that's my morning routine completed. That was 2.5 hours this morning. Normally it's nowhere near this long. It's because I've been having to set up with the camera and all this shit. So yeah, don't have a 2-hour morning routine. You can, but normally my morning routine in its entirety is about 1.5 hours. That's including a long walk, but obviously this is in excess. If you have to work and you have to just wake up earlier than you go to work, and I know this isn't possible for everyone, but say you work a 9 to 5, you must be up at 6:30. You must, because this is the only time in the day that you have to actually do those good habits to really benefit your tinnitus. And then when you're in work, you just have to focus on being as little amount of stressed as possible, because stress is horrendous for tinnitus, and it's actually a causation for a lot of people, and that's where they first get it. So listen, you've just got to optimize the best you can and be as practical as you can. Do all the things you can do as good as you can do them, and things will just start to fall into place, and you'll see as you get more used to doing these things, you can now add on top, or you can work around your schedule a bit better with your work. But you just have to be as practical as possible and just understand that it's impossible to do all this stuff and, live a 9 to 5 lifestyle or whatever. You'd have to be some Zen Buddhist monk just sitting on there's a place for that. If you have the money, go and do that. That's how you heal your tinnitus so fast like that. Is you just go completely zen, just return to nature and eat as much meat as possible, basically. That's it. So yeah, I thought I'd offer this practical kind of approach to living with tinnitus as well. I'm about to start my work day, so I'll see you back when I'm about to have my lunch, or I might add some things in between, we'll see. So just another little pro tip I thought I'd share. So I always have I try and have my coffee outside as well, and basically just get outside whenever I can, literally as much as possible. The more time you spend outside, the easier it'll be to get your tinnitus down, essentially. And just a little quick tip for all of us guys watching this is just piss outside. If you have the capabilities to do so, it's an easy way to get outside a lot more often. I don't do this all the time, I'm just saying, when I have my morning coffee, sometimes I'll just have a little waz outside as well. So do whatever you can to get outside as much as possible, basically. So another quite obvious example is I'm a musician and I work as a music tutor. So I'm surrounded by musical instruments and making a lot of noise all day. And 2 guesses for how I got tinnitus back in the day. It was obviously going to gigs and playing through an amp like that one back there at ridiculous volumes far too often and listening to music too often. So how I'm combating this now, and I'm still, you know, even though I've got tinnitus, I'm like, nah, I'm going to keep going, I'm going to be a musician, is obviously when I play piano, it's at this kind of volume. It's really not that loud, you know. And I know the temptation's always there to turn it up and you enjoy it a bit more, but you just have to remember, like, that's not open to us anymore, and that's fine. You know, you've just got to deal with the cards you've been dealt. And one other point I want to mention is when you're using headphones, you want to use ones that have a cord, that have a long lead. You know, it doesn't have to specifically be a long one, but Bluetooth headphones are horrendous for tinnitus. Corded headphones aren't that great either, but as a musician, you know, sometimes we're going to have to wear them. Bluetooth headphones emit large amounts of electromagnetic field radiation, and to have them on your ears, which is where you're experiencing your symptoms of tinnitus, is honestly just stupid. So do not use Bluetooth headphones, and use corded ones when you can, and obviously keep the volume quite low. If you're using headphones, you're going to have to take listening breaks quite often and let your body readjust to not having EMF radiation next to it. Another point is that through me recording this video, I'm using my phone a lot, and basically what I'm doing to combat the EMF, so phones emit EMF as well, so if you have your cellular data on or Wi-Fi, then your phone's going to be emitting a large amount of EMF radiation. So I just turn airplane mode on. So all these videos you're seeing me record, I've got airplane mode on all the time. When I need to use my phone and have notifications, you know, just turn it off, and then you get your notifications back. And just try and minimize the amount of time that you're exposed to EMF radiation through Wi-Fi, mobile data, and headphones, Bluetooth, stuff like that. So another little point, and I know this is a long segment, but on my computer I use what's it called again? Ethernet cable. So you connect via Ethernet, which keeps all of the Wi-Fi and the EMF radiation within the cable. So the only way you'd actually be contacted with the EMF is if you wrap the cable around your head or holding on to it. So, and even at that point, you know, it's surrounded by wire casing rather than being airborne. You know, there's a lot more to this stuff when people are like, oh, 5G towers and that. It's like, nah, it's honestly true. It's disrupting birds, it's disrupting the environment, all the animals hate them. We're an animal at the end of the day, you know what I mean? And this stuff does affect us. So just try and minimize as much as you can your contact with EMF radiation, and keep your volume low if you're a musician. That's the 2 points I wanted to get across. So yeah. So that's me done with my piano playing session. I was just getting a couple songs I've been working on for a while up to scratch. I've got a couple new students, so I'm just making sure my playing's pretty good. I also, at the end of the session, came up with a new song, original one, so I'm pretty chuffed with that. And basically I'm just getting some lunch now. I've got an allergy appointment later on, which I'll fill you in on when I get there. But yeah, I'm just finally eating now. So basically I always fast from 6 p.m. the day before until 12 p.m. The next day. So that's 18 hours of fasting with a 6-hour eating window. And I'll take you guys through what I'm eating during the day to heal tinnitus. Eating while you have tinnitus is a bit of a tricky one. Basically, the main thing you want to do is avoid carbohydrates. This is the biggest challenge because, you know, the modern diet is just stuffed full of sugar and carbohydrates. So the way that I get around it, I'll just show you. I eat pretty much the same thing every morning. I'll have some beef sausages. Yummy. And to be fair, like, I quite enjoy eating like this, to be honest. Then I'll have some bacon, I'm gonna have an omelette, but to be fair, probably the best way to cook eggs if you want to get the full nutritional value is just to have them sunny side up. Or you could hard boil them, stuff like that. So basically you don't want to ruin the yolk, which I've already done by scrambling it and whatever, but it really is panicky at that point, so I wouldn't worry about it too much. And the main attraction is this is lamb liver, so literally liver, like the liver of the animal. And you know, it's not the most pleasant thing to eat in the world, but I just look at it in terms of this is medicine. This is literally medicine. You can look up what's in liver, and it's amazing, the nutritional value of it. And people compare it to like kale and whatever, and it's just like, yes, but the nutrients and like enzymes, and there's loads of stuff in liver, it's all bioavailable, so your body can actually digest it and it actually uses it. Whereas say you eat a carrot and you get beta carotene, that doesn't actually go into your body and turn into, you know what I mean, those nutrients. You just shit it out. So with liver, it really does actually go into your liver and heal it. So basically, a lot of people will have liver issues. I definitely do, because I abused drugs and alcohol. So I know that my liver's completely fucked, and from eating the modern diet as well, it really doesn't help the liver. There's a lot of inflammation from carbohydrates and stuff like that. So yeah, you want to minimize carbs, start eating liver. And I just want to share this thing, right? So there was a peer-reviewed study, which basically means you can trust it. And they found that when they added like a little radioactive pigment which lit up like a color fluorescently, so they could see it through an X-ray, they found that if you eat the right organ meat, it goes to that organ in our bodies. So say you eat some liver, the nutrients from that and whatever, it will go to the liver and start healing the liver, the brain, the heart, etc. So this is why I'm eating liver. And you can also take supplements like this. So I'll take collagen peptides, creatine for muscle building, selenium's very important, vitamin D3 for sunlight, basically to mimic getting sunlight, magnesium and zinc to help sleep, and grass-fed beef liver supplements. But I'm about to switch to the ancestral supplements one, which is just called the beef organs, and that's everything. So you'll get thyroid, you'll get heart, brain, bone marrow, everything of the cow, essentially, you want to be getting into your body because it heals your entire body. And since I'm already eating liver, it seems a bit counterintuitive to have them. I've not had those yet, so I'm just going to take some supplements and I'll show you my cooking process for the liver, just to make it a bit tastier. So for cooking my omelette, I'm going to be using goose fat, which is probably the healthiest cooking oil you could use. You don't want to be using actual oils, and definitely don't use seed oils. They are terrible. Like, just avoid them like the plague. Just use animal fat, lard, butter, stuff like that. But basically the thing with butter is you want to be avoiding dairy while you've got tinnitus as well. So try and minimize butter if you can. So I'm just heating up some butter in this pan, making sure that the pan is extremely hot. So not like ridiculously hot, but you want it like medium hot. You can see I've got it up to a fair whack. And then get the pan smoking, so that you get a nice sear on the liver. And this is the best way to cook it. You want to cook it at a high heat for a short amount of time. So that is perfectly cooked liver, I'd say. You can see the glaze from the butter actually makes it taste pretty nice. It's actually growing on me. The first time I ate liver I wasn't too keen on it, but now, to be honest, it's not too bad. And if you cook it in this way, honestly, it's fine to eat. And just look at it as medicine, as fuel for your body and healing power. You know, most medicine doesn't taste so great, so you can do what you can to minimize it. But yeah, I just thought I'd show how to cook liver. So just a couple things I want to mention about that meal as well. Basically, I ate it under no artificial lighting. So I sat next to the window, making sure that I got as much natural light and as little artificial light as possible. This is because sitting under artificial light puts your body in a kind of stressful situation, I guess. The ideal scenario would be to eat outside all the time, but as you can see, it's pushing it down. And it's freezing in Scotland, so I'm just not doing that. And you don't want to be watching your phone. That's the main one. So make sure you're not watching a video while you're eating. The ideal scenario after you eat would be like just go for a 5-minute walk. That'll help metabolize and digest your food. All good. And then that's it, you know. So what I'm up to now is I'm going to get an allergy test, which is essential for anyone with tinnitus, is to see what foods you're intolerant to and stuff like that, because you might be surprised that you're eating some things that really don't agree with you, and this might be a big cause of your tinnitus. So this is what I'm up to now. I'll update you once I'm there. So just got done at the allergy testing, the food intolerance testing, and bad news. I'm intolerant to eggs, and man, I eat a lot of eggs, like a lot. So I'm intolerant to dairy, so it's cow's milk and eggs is what I'm intolerant to. So it's a shame because I love eating eggs, and you saw me eat eggs literally during this video, but it looks like I'm gonna have to try and cut them out for a good few months, and then I can come back and then see if my antibodies or whatever have basically forgotten the eggs and now I can eat them again. So with intolerances, you don't keep them for that long. 3 months maybe. If I cut it out, I can maybe eat them again, but we'll see. So, I mean, if you're watching this and you eat a lot of eggs, or, you've got tinnitus, and honestly, get one of these tests. You want a skin prick test, basically. So I got a blood test one, but you get ones that are like on your arm as well. And yeah, that's very surprising. And that's just great to know, because now going forward, I actually have evidence that it could be eggs that's causing it. And tinnitus is absolutely caused by food intolerances. So yeah, just a reminder, and if you're watching this, get yourself a little food intolerance test by a good doctor. So yeah. That allergy test probably went about pretty bad. The only way it could have been worse was if I was allergic, so intolerant to beef or some meat and stuff like that, because that would have sucked big time. But I'll show you my fridge. That's just a lot of eggs. So I'm gonna have to try and get through the eggs. That means no more cheese, no more butter. So I got this instead. This is an alternative to butter, beef dripping. So I'll try that. I also have the goose fat, this one that I showed. But yeah, as you can see, the butter is in the bin. So yeah, it's just going to take some getting used to, I guess, but I'm still positive. I've just got to try out some new things in the morning. So definitely get yourself an allergy test, because honestly, eggs have been a staple of my diet, and now to find out that they've been contributing to my tinnitus is crazy, to be honest. So maybe some food for thought, for sure. So I'm just outside now, getting some evening sunlight. And as you can see, the colours are a bit different, right, from the morning sunlight. And you basically want to set your circadian rhythm twice a day, and it would be ideal to get out like 3 or 4 times a day, just to let the sun hit your eyes. And this is the only way to tell your body what time it is. It's the only way it actually understands. It understands through the eyes, through the iris. So you just want to notice the different colours in the sky. Especially when it's evening and when it's morning, and this is how to set your circadian rhythm properly. And since I've been doing this, my sleep has been incredible, like honestly. Recently it's been a bit meh, so I don't know what that is, but it's definitely something else that isn't a circadian rhythm, because honestly I still get about 8 hours of sleep. It's just I've been having like random dreams and shit recently. So yeah, just another thing. I always set my circadian rhythm 2 or 3 times a day. So just another thing to think about when you're healing from tinnitus. So you won't have seen it, but I was just outside, just catching the last of the sunlight. As you can see, the sun is now down and it's getting dark. So basically, this light I've got in the bathroom it's filtered out, so it has absolutely no blue light in it. This is the next phase that you want to get into. As soon as the sun's gone down, it's about 5 p.m. now, I'm about to do a workout, you want to absolutely cut out blue light. So another thing, I can't really show you, but on my, I can't show you. So basically I've got a setting on my screen that allows me to change my phone screen to completely red. And this blocks out all blue light, so it means I can still look at my phone screen without damaging my circadian rhythm and affecting my sleep. I'll show you the glasses I've got as well, just 2 seconds. So, for instance, this light I've got on here is no good because that's just a standard light bulb, right? But if I'm wearing these, so these are blue light blocking glasses. I use a company called Block Blue Light, just simply that. They're UK based. There's another one called RA Optics, RA Optics, and they're the best, but they're very expensive, so I don't expect you to get them. Block Blue Light are the guys that do the light bulbs as well, so I have another one here. This is a blue light blocking light bulb. So yeah, this is just another thing that you should be doing to help your tinnitus. I just can't believe that I'm intolerant to eggs and dairy. That's insane. So basically my entire life I've been eating eggs and dairy. My entire life. And wow. So I'm obviously going to have to cut that out, but this is just a very enlightening moment to know that maybe this is the end of tinnitus, you know? Maybe all I have to do is cut out the eggs and the dairy and just keep doing what I'm doing. And maybe that's the final piece of the puzzle. So I'm very excited about this, but also a bit sad because eggs are extremely nutritious and I'll miss having them in my diet because I eat them every day. The dairy is going to be hard to cut out as well, so that's a bit of a tough one. But yeah, just absolutely, if you have the funds, it was £135 for me to get the allergy test. So if you have that money and you're able to spend it, just think about it, right? That is so valuable to know that my body is attacking itself because I'm eating these foods. And if you don't know that, then it's just down to simple trial and error. But now I know conclusively that I'm dairy intolerant. So yeah, I wasn't expecting this video to go this way, and I've already showed you me eating loads of eggs, so definitely keep doing that. Unless you know you're dairy intolerant, keep eating eggs. But yeah, dairy is not good for tinnitus, so I should have been cutting out dairy anyway. Like butter and that, but eggs are fine. So yeah. So I've got a pool day today, so I'm going to start out with some hanging. I'll just hang out with you guys. So basically you just kind of just drop, and this is very good for tinnitus, just drop into it and just try and hold it as long as you can. Let's try and relax on the bar. So my back's popping, like I can feel it clicking, and this is just obviously the gas bubbles in my spine being allowed to release. So just breathe deep. Now I'm feeling a big release in my lower spine, thoracic. Or I think that's lumbar spine actually. I'm straining. And then just let yourself loosen up. So I just do this 3 times, 3 sets, and then I move on to some other exercises. But it really doesn't matter what you do. I just thought I'd show you this part, and then I'll show you some of the exercises I'm doing just to show a full day of tinnitus. You really want to be exercising if you've got tinnitus, or if you've got any kind of condition. Trust me, like, exercise is just so important for your mental health, for your physical health, even your spiritual health as well, and your presence, you know. It's so beneficial for anyone. So yeah, get in the gym or get yourself a pull-up bar and some equipment like me. Yeah. So even with that amount of assistance, I still feel a massive burn in my back. I'm just building up the strength right now to get to a pull-up. There's no ego with exercise. Just do what hits your muscles extremely well and you feel them. You've got the muscle soreness the next day, that's a good indicator. And then you just want to be eating enough food, and healthy food, and plenty of protein at that. So I've just got a couple more sets of ring rows and then I'm done. Those pull-ups absolutely wrecked me, like. I've just switched to that after doing like chin-ups that way, and they're a bit easier. So I'm trying to focus more on my back now instead of the biceps. So yeah, it's been interesting, but pretty tough workout. And after this, got some steak lined up for tea. So let's go. Dinner is served. This is a ribeye steak and basically just some chips. They're obviously homemade, so I'm doing my best to stay kind of healthy. It's not ideal to be mixing food groups like protein and carbohydrates, but I'm getting there step by step, you know. We can't take this massive leap all in one go. Just try and, you know, eat as much of the healthy stuff as possible and as little of the unhealthy stuff as possible. Potatoes fried in avocado oil is really not the end of the world. So yeah, instead of using butter with the steak, I've had to use goose fat, which I'm guessing will be my new friend from now on, my tasty alternative to butter, since I'm literally dairy intolerant. I still can't believe it, but here we are. So yeah, I'll let you guys know how I get on. So that was a banging wee steak. That's me finished eating for the day. The next meal I'll have will be about 12 p.m. So I'll stay fasted until that time. I'm now going to slow down my water intake as well, so I don't want to be drinking too much, or I'll end up just having to get up multiple times in the night to use the toilet, so we want to avoid that. From here on out, I'll just be relaxing, probably do some reading, and I'll show you guys what it looks like. We want to now turn towards natural lighting, and that means candles. So yeah. So if you are going to watch something, just make sure it's not something that's super, like, people dying in it all the time and like super emotional and all this kind of stuff. So I like watching just like Archer or some random cartoony kind of things, just super light-hearted watches. And obviously I've still got my, I'm not sure if you can even see me, I've got my blue light blocking glasses on, so it really minimises the damaging effects of watching television late at night, because it is a habit that I'm sure a lot of us experience. You know, everyone does it, so from time to time, don't beat yourself up about it. I've had a bit of a stressful day with the getting told that half of my diet, e.g. eggs, is basically off the table, and dairy, and man, I've been eating this stuff for my whole life, and it's just a bit of a kick in the balls to you know, I thought I was making the right choices with eggs, and especially with eggs, but with dairy as well. I thought I was making the right choice, like, oh, eggs are super healthy, but for me in particular, it's probably the worst thing I could be eating, because I'm intolerant to it. So it's literally making my body kill itself essentially. So that just sucks. That's why I'd normally be reading a book or something or listening to some music. You can see I've got the candles on. I'll be honest, I was gonna do like, oh yeah, I'm reading, but in all actuality, I was just watching telly. So I thought it'd just be open. You know, what I mean, there's no ego involved with this shit. Like it's only a couple of people watching anyway. So yeah, take it easy on yourself if you've got tinnitus. Like just do the best you can to minimize the damage. So wear your blue light blockers. Go to sleep at a reasonable time. You know, it's not even 9 p.m. yet, so I'll still be in bed and read until I fall asleep, so it's all good. But yeah, just a reminder, take it easy on yourself and minimize damage. So I think after all that, I've earned myself a nice warm bath just to relax in the evening with some natural lighting. Yeah, today didn't really go how I thought it would. I wasn't expecting that news with the eggs. But yeah, I hope this shows you how you can apply some of these things to your life practically, and how to actually start living with tinnitus and start healing from tinnitus. It's quite overwhelming at first, but just implement things little by little, one thing at a time, and just take baby steps with it all, and you'll find that your general well-being, your mood, is just more regulated, it's of a higher quality, life just seems to start happening again, and your tinnitus, I guarantee you, will start lowering if you take this advice seriously. So thank you for watching this very long video, and hope it was useful in any way. Take care. Thank you so much for watching this video and taking it seriously. Thank you for getting to the end. I just want to mention that I have a Discord community for people who are suffering from tinnitus. If you're really struggling, just join the Discord in the link below and you will have access to me personally. I'm absolutely happy to help you on there. Just ask me any questions and I'll get back to you on whatever I know, or provide any links to other people's information that I know of. Again, tinnitus is not for life. Keep the faith, man. I wish you all the best of luck on this journey, and thank you again for watching the video. Please take care. Have a good day.